This is Lacey Everett here with the Minds in Motion dance series. If you know anyone who is interested in learning some dance tips or overall general mental health tips, send it their way. And make sure we are subscribed to the Minds in Motion YouTube channel so I can continue making these videos for you. Today's guest is Alanna, who is a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader and a former Los Angeles Laker girl who was on the team with me. And she was also on Cal State Fullerton's national winning dance team. Alanna is going to talk about Dallas Cowboy Cheerleader Requirements, how to keep your body healthy and strong, psychological effects of dance, and how to pick up choreography fast. Hi, Alanna.
Hello, Lacey.
Hi, Alanna.
Hello, Lacey.
Hi, I am so happy to see you. Look at that bright white smile.
I am so excited to be here. I've missed you so much, and I'm glad we get to chat.
Oh, well, I wanted to ask because you are a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, Alanna, and that takes a lot of hard work. So I'm curious what the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader requirements are, or what it took for you to become one.
So the audition process is definitely tough, but this goes with any audition process that I've kind of ever been through. I was a Laker girl before, and then tried out to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. And that audition process is always so hard because there's a lot of steps to the process. So there's a lot of rounds, there's a lot of interviews, and all of that. So it takes a lot of like strength physically because you're dancing so much, but also mentally because you're having to like push yourself through every round. And when you get there and you see all the girls, you're like, holy crap, how am I going to get from the thousands of girls that are here to the 36 that are on the team, or the 22 that are on the team, or whatever team you're on? And it's really hard mentally, and I feel like people don't realize that because it takes so much positive mentality to keep yourself going. But the audition process is insane. There's so much from dancing. There's like, I want to say 4 different rounds. You go through prelims, semis, finals. But in between that, you have an interview, and then you have to take a test. So there's a lot that you have to know. You have to be so well-rounded. You have to be able to perform first and foremost, but then you have to be able to carry yourself well and be able to speak. So there's a lot of introducing yourself. So you have to be able to go in front of all the judges. There's a ton of judges. You have to be able to go in front of them, tell them a little bit about yourself, and almost sound so confident that they're like, wow, I can see her in that uniform. So they don't really want someone timid like, hi, I'm Alanna. They want them to be like, hey, I'm Alanna. Look at me. Remember me. So that is also hard. We have the test. You have to know all about the organization and the players and the history and all of that. And then we also have finals where you do a solo and you have to impress the judges. And I feel like the cool part about our process, and this is similar going back to Lakers and how when I auditioned for them, our judging panel is not all dancers. So it's not like they are like you have all the top dance teachers or dance instructors. You have a very versatile judging panel. So we have people that are news anchors. We have a couple of our sponsors. One is like our boot sponsor, and we have someone that comes from like just different all walks of life and all backgrounds, because that is essentially what the fan is. So when you're performing in front of thousands of fans for whatever team you're on, there'll be a couple dancers in the crowd, but there's also it's just the normal average people that are like, wow, what is entertaining to me? You have to be entertaining. End of story. So
End of
it's
story.
not like, exactly. You have to be entertaining, but you also have to be well spoken, and you have to have a good resume, and you have to be a good person. Like there's so much that you need to encompass in the audition process. So I think that's one thing people forget is like, oh, I have to be the best dancer. But in reality, I'm not the greatest dancer. I'm not the most technical dancer. Like my leg might go here when others are here. So it's the fact of having to be well rounded in order to make such a established team.
Wow, and what a process, Alanna, to say the least.
Yes.
But you did it. You did it.
I
And
did
like you
it.
mentioned, your positive mindset helped you a lot. And with that, I wanted to talk about the psychological effects of dance. How do
Mm-hmm.
they play a role for you?
Well, my sister would tell you ever since I was little, and my mom, I was always one person that was like, oh, I could do that. And my mom and my sister would be like, no, you can't. Like, you've never done that before. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And so I think I definitely, my mind is very like, why not? Like, why not me? Where I feel like a lot of people um, stop themselves and almost like hinder their process or their journey because they're always like, oh, I can't do that, when in reality they're like, well, why not, just go do it. So you have to switch your brain, switch your wheels in order to just tell yourself to do it. Like so many people get so stuck because they're not willing to step out of their comfort zone, or they're not willing to try something new. And I even remember when I auditioned for Lakers, someone had told my mom like, is she okay with not making it? Like, and my mom was like, what are you talking
Oh,
about? And they're like, yeah, yeah. And those people are the ones that are always the hardest because, but I also feel like that fuels me to like, oh, I'm going to make it. Like, I'm going to make it, and I'm going to show you that I can do this, because just because it's something that you've never done before, we don't know many people that have done it, doesn't mean you can't do it. So I definitely think that is one of the hardest parts about this process, is just making sure your mind is positive and fueled and you're mentally there. Um, and dancing's just fun. I mean, it's something that I
yeah.
absolutely love to do, and I am the happiest person when I do it. And it's kind of crazy because going from college dance, I danced for a year at Cal State Fullerton and became a national champion, had an absolute blast, loved it, but it was very, but it was very physically demanding. And I was very different than most girls, where like I loved cheering at the basketball games. I loved fan engagement. So a lot of the girls were like, competition, like, yeah, let's win. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'm all here for it. But I also was like, picking up different games and like telling, like, girls would be like, oh, I can't go, and I'm like, I'll take it. Like I loved that entertainment aspect, which is where I think I started in the, oh wow, like let me, I can make money for this, like I can make this my job, like I would love to do that. And that's one of the greatest thing I think mentally. While I'm dancing, I get so much joy seeing the fans excited, or seeing them smile, or seeing like the little girl that's in her Dallas Cowboys cheerleader uniform, like seeing her like smile with the big wave, like in the stands trying to do the dance too. Like that, I think, is what makes me the happiest, and what brings me so much joy physically, mentally, like everything. I'm like on cloud nine when that's happening.
Alana, I love hearing this. And it sounds like it really does make you happy. And like you said, the example from when you were on the college dance team and interacting with the fans was like your favorite part. It sounds like you were made for
Hmm.
something like this.
Exactly. And that's definitely why I only did it my first year. I graduated from Cal State Fullerton, but my last 3 years of college, I was working and dancing for the Lakers. So I definitely was like, I love the competition aspect, had a blast, but I was like ready to only do the entertainment aspect. And I think that is where I kind of realized, wow, maybe this is for me. Like maybe I should try to go professional. Like that, we don't compete as on a professional team. All we're doing is entertaining and interacting with fans and bringing joy and entertainment to an arena.
Yes, and it kind of goes along with your fearless attitude, Alana, because you said you grew up always kind of thinking, well, why not? I mean, whatever. Let's just try it and see what happens. And because of that, you got these phenomenal jobs, like as a Laker girl,
Hmm.
then as a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. I mean, if you didn't have that positive mindset like you speak of, or if you didn't
Hmm.
have that kind of why not attitude about
Yeah,
it, you probably never would have.
exactly.
Yes.
Hmm. And it's also the fact of like, I've had that since I was little. But what people don't realize is like, if that hasn't been them, if that's never been them, they can still switch their thinking or switch
Mhm.
their mindset because they easily can be like, you know what, maybe she's right. I'll try that. Like with their next endeavor, whether it's something with work or something with school, like why not go and create this event that you've thought of but you've never had the chance to? Like why not? Like just do it.
Exactly. I love that mindset. Lastly, I wanted to ask how to pick up choreography fast.
Yes,
How
that is something that being a professional dancer is one of the main things you need to be able to do. As a young dancer, I was very quick at picking up choreography. Like one of my dance teachers would always be like, I can rely on Alanna because she'll quickly pick up the choreography so fast. Then, as I got older and I stopped dancing as much in the studio, I kind of lost it. But it's really something you have to train your mind to be able to do. So, if I from right now for a month straight took a dance class like 3 days a week, I would then be training my mind to pick up choreography to learn, because it's definitely something that you have to teach yourself how to do. It could come naturally for some people, but it's something I think I've had to work on and practice, practice, practice. Like it's crazy because you don't realize it, but then after one season with the Cowboys, I was like, oh my God, like I've gotten so much better at picking up choreography. But it's definitely something you have to practice, definitely something you have to work on and almost train your brain to be like, okay, I got my first 4/8 counts. Now I have to remember this like in between, where's the transition? Which you would probably understand, but some viewers might not. But you definitely have to train your mind. And that's something that definitely, as a dancer, is important because you're going to auditions, you're getting thrown choreography left and right, and you have to just input it in your brain, try your best to remember it, and go for it. And I think definitely the when people doubt themselves and when people start questioning themselves is when they start messing up. And in reality, you've probably been dancing your whole life. Like anyone that's probably watching this has been dancing for a while or doing their sport for a while, and they are good at it. Like they've been practicing, they've been doing it. But when they start doubting themselves is when they start questioning themselves, and then you start losing choreography. And I've done that so many times. And then I'm like, why am I doubting myself? Like I told myself I knew this, I did know this. And then I'm like, wait, is it the left foot or the right foot? And in my head, I'm going back and forth and I'm like, wait, I knew it. And so that is where something that is very important. You need to not doubt yourself and just be confident in the fact of your body knows this, your mind knows this. So just let it go.
yes, just let it go. It's interesting how so simple, but we make
Hmm.
it's like we almost make it harder for ourselves. We start going
Yes.
down that downward spiral of what if this, is it the left or right, or is it, and it's really just, it. It's in your muscles, it's in your brain.
100%. Exactly. And
Yeah.
it's hard when you are auditioning because that is something that it's new material, new choreography. But and that's very fast. Like maybe 20 minutes they teach you the routine, they give you 5 minutes to practice it, and you're like, all right, gotta go. And this might go along with my carefree mindset, but I'm very fake it till you make it. I will get in front of you. I can mess up, but if I have a smile on my face, you might be questioning, is she doing the right choreography? Is she not doing the right choreography? I don't know. She looks like she's having a good time. So let's have fun with her. And that's a huge thing I tell all of my dancers that I train when you're in an audition process, when you're performing at a recital. If you mess up, keep going. If you mess up, put a smile on your face, act like you didn't mess up, that was my little solo part right there. Just kidding. It really wasn't, but keep it moving, put a smile on your face, act like nothing ever happened, and you'll do great.
As long as you're confident, like you said, the people around you who are watching you will feel confident, even if, like you
Hmm.
said, they're questioning what you're doing. But
Yes.
I feel confident in her because she's so confident and she's still smiling.
Hmm. And it was so I going off that, I remembered when I first auditioned for Lakers, I was 19. I had just danced in college. I didn't know how to do my makeup. I didn't know how to do my hair. Like, I thought my outfit was cute that I was auditioning in. Later, I looked back and I was like, ooh, that was not cute. But I remember I was young and I was at the audition and I made it my first time trying out. And I remember my director told me after later when I was on the team for 3 years, I asked her, like, why the heck did you pick me? Like, out of all those girls, what was it? Like, how I look terrible. Like, why did you pick me? And she told me, you look like you were having so much fun dancing that I knew I could fix her makeup, I could fix her hair, but like I guess I was very entertaining and like that's what got me the job. Like people that are watching you when you're in an audition process, they know what they can fix and what they change. But if you're entertaining, that's something that always sometimes can't be taught. That's something that's definitely like in you, and you just have to exude confidence and exude how much fun you're having, and that's what gets the fans entertained, and that's what gets the judges entertained. So
Exactly. I mean, it's kind of like if you have that aspect, you
hmm.
can't go wrong.
Totally. Yeah.
Well, this was
Yeah.
great, Alanna. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, Lacey. I'm can't wait to watch the rest of your videos. I've already been watching a few and learning some new tips and tricks. So I'm very grateful for you to have me, and I'm excited to see what else you do with this.
Thanks, Alanna. I'm super grateful that you could have the time to do this.
Anything for you. Bye. Love you. Mwah.